Let me talk to you for a minute. I want to ask you a real question. Are you tired? I mean, are you bone deep, soul level tired? You wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, and the race begins. You're running from the time you open your eyes to the time you crash back into bed. You're juggling work, family, side hustles, dreams, a to-do list that just won't quit. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're checking all the boxes. But let me ask you this. Are you getting where you want to go? Or does it just feel like you're running in place, getting more and more exhausted every single day? So many of us are caught in this trap. We believe that to get more, we have to do more. More hours at the office, more tasks on our list, more hustle, more grind, more sacrifice. We wear busy like it's a badge of honor. We tell people, "Oh, I'm slammed, I'm so busy," thinking that means we're important, that we're making progress. But what if I told you that being busy and being productive are two completely different things? What if I told you that most of what you're doing doesn't even matter? It's just noise. Think about it. You spend hours answering emails that lead to nothing. You go to meetings that could have been a sentence. You work on projects that don't move the needle. You're giving 100% of your energy, but you're spreading it thin. It's like trying to water a whole garden with just one little cup of water. Nothing gets enough to really grow. You end up with a lot of half-done tasks, a lot of stress, and a feeling that you're falling further and further behind, no matter how fast you run. But what if there was another way? A better way? What if you could get more done by doing less? Now, hold on. I know that sounds crazy. It goes against everything we've been taught. But I'm here to tell you, it's the absolute truth. The secret isn't working harder. It's working smarter. The secret is figuring out what really, truly matters and pouring all your energy into that. It's about finding the few things that give you the biggest results and letting go of the rest. That's where the magic happens. That's where you change the game. Now, this ain't some new age philosophy I just made up. This is a proven principle. It's called the 80-20 rule, Pareto Principle, Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian man. This man was just looking at his garden. He noticed that 80% of the peas he was harvesting came from only 20% of his pea pods. He started looking around. He looked at land ownership in Italy and saw that 80% of the land was owned by just 20% of the people. The pattern was everywhere. In almost everything in life, a small amount of causes create the majority of the results. Think about it like this. 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. That's the big secret. That means the other 80% of your effort, running around, stress, busyness, it's only producing a tiny 20% of your results. You are spending most of your time on things that barely make a difference. Let that sink in for a minute. You are wasting most of your precious time and energy. This changes everything. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It applies to your job. 20% of your tasks probably account for 80% of your success. It applies to your business. 20% of your customers likely bring in 80% of your revenue. It even applies to your happiness. 20% of your experiences and your relationships are responsible for 80% of your joy and fulfillment. The rest is just filler. It's the static on the radio when you're trying to listen to your favorite song. The 80-20 rule is the key to tuning out that static. So the question you gotta start asking yourself is not, how can I get more done? The real question is, what is my 20%? What are the few vital activities that will give me the lion's share of my success, my income, my happiness? It's time to stop. It's time to focus. It's time to find your 20% and give it everything you've got. All right, let's bring this home. Go on, get up and walk over to your closet. Open those doors. Now, take a good hard look. What do you see? I bet you see a whole lot of clothes. It's packed in there, right? Stuff you haven't seen in years. That one jacket with the tag still on. Shoes that hurt but look good. A whole wardrobe of just-in-case outfits. Now, let me ask you another question. Of all those clothes, how many do you actually wear? You wear about 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. The rest is just taking up space, creating clutter, and making it harder to find the stuff you love. This isn't just about clothes. It's how we operate in every part of our lives. That cluttered closet is a metaphor for your cluttered life. Clean out your closet. Not just the bedroom closet, the closet of your life. Identify the 20% you actually use and love. Then have the courage to get rid of the other 80%. Let it go. Focus on the vital few and make space for what matters. Less clutter, more clarity. Less mess, more success. Let's talk business for a second. Think about a business owner. They've got 100 things to do: marketing, sales, customer service. But a smart business owner knows that only a handful of their activities actually bring in the big bucks. For most businesses, about 80% of their profits come from about 20% of their customers. You got a few superstar clients who buy from you again and again. Then you got a whole bunch of other customers who buy one little thing one time, and you never hear from them again. It's the same with products. 20% of their products are generating 80% of the sales, while the rest are just collecting dust in the warehouse. This is for you too. Look at your daily tasks. What are the 20% of your activities that produce 80% of your value? It ain't answering every single email within 5 seconds, I can tell you that. It's the big projects, the creative solutions. Find your 20%, focus on delivering excellence there, and watch how your career takes off. Now, let's get real personal. Let's talk about your health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. We all know what we're supposed to do. Eat a perfect diet, exercise for an hour. The list is endless. It's overwhelming. Most people just give up and do nothing. That's the 100% trap. 80% of results come from 20% of habits. Maybe it's cutting out sugary drinks, or maybe it's walking 20 minutes a day. Find your keystone habits, the 20% actions that trigger a chain reaction. For example, get to bed 30 minutes earlier. You'll have more energy. Make a healthy breakfast. More patience with your kids. See how it works? Stop trying to be perfect. Ask, what's the one thing I can do today that has the biggest impact? Find that one small, powerful thing. Do it consistently. Now let me talk to the students out there. It feels like you have to study 24/7. You're highlighting every single word, pulling all-nighters. But what if I told you that most of that effort is wasted? I guarantee you, 80% of what's on that test will come from 20% of the material you learned. The professor probably even told you what was important. Your job is to listen for those hints. Identify that critical 20% of the information. Once you've identified that vital 20%, you go all in on it. You make sure you understand it so well, you could explain it to your grandma. No more all-nighters. Find the 20% that matters, master it, and then go get some sleep. Your brain and your GPA will thank you for it. Okay, so you've identified your 20%, but there's a problem. Everyone else keeps trying to fill your day with their 80%. To protect your 20%, you have to learn to use the most powerful 2-letter word in the English language: no. Every time you say yes to a low-value request, you are saying no to your high-value priorities. You can say no with grace. Be polite, but be firm. You are the guardian of your own time. Protect your most valuable asset, your focus. This is how you start to take back control. Let's get personal now. Let's talk about your dreams. What do you want to achieve before your time is up? We treat our goals like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Chase 10 different rabbits at once. You catch none. You gotta sit down, get brutally honest with yourself. Which one or two truly set your soul on fire? That's your 20%. That's the vital few. Once you've identified the crucial 20%, pour your energy into it. You start to see progress. Progress fuels motivation. Stop being a professional dreamer. Start being a professional achiever. All right, let's talk about something really important: the people you surround yourself with. The people you spend your time with will either lift you up or they will drag you down. Who leaves you feeling energized, inspired? These people are your 20%. Now, let's talk about the other side. The people who drain your battery. These are the relationships you need to invest your time and energy into nurturing. This is a hard truth, but you have to start limiting your exposure to that 80%. You have to love some people from a distance. Spend more time with your 20%, the encouragers, the believers, the motivators. Your corner will be filled with champions. So here we are. You see the pattern now, don't you? You see how you've been spreading yourself too thin. This moment right here is a fork in the road for you. You can nod along and go right back to the way you were living, or make a different choice. Choose right now to draw a line in the sand. Stop being a victim of your own schedule. Start being the architect of your own life. Don't try to do everything I've said all at once. Find your one thing. What one thing can you do today that will start the momentum? Once you've identified your one thing, go do it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, right now. Action separates dreamers from achievers. Find your 20%. Give it your all. Watch your life change. Your new life starts with one thing. Go do it.